In this video, we will show you how to replace your front lower control arm rearward bushing on the Subaru Impreza. This is part of your front suspension located behind your rear wheel. Let's get into it. Okay friend, let's get started on our job. The first thing we need to do is safely raise and support the front of the vehicle so the wheel's off the ground and the suspension is hanging. Once you've done that, we'll continue on to removing all 5 of our 19mm lug nuts and then the wheel. With the wheel out of the way, let's continue on to removing our 32mm axle nut. We'll continue on with a hammer and punch directly in the center of that axle. We want to break that free from the wheel bearing. At this point, we're going to have a look in this area. We have our lower ball joint that comes down and through the control arm. You can separate this one of 2 ways. Either remove the pinch bolt and separate the ball joint from the knuckle, or remove the lower nut here and separate the ball joint from the lower control arm. We're going to move up to the pinch bolt. We'll go ahead and remove this, separate this a little bit, and then we should be able to slide this down and out just enough to break it free. We'll use a 14mm for this pinch bolt. A quick inspection, make sure it is still reusable. This one looks okay. The next thing we'll have to do is start tapping down on this control arm. We're waiting to see this ball joint start to move from the knuckle. Keep in mind, this could cause a little bit of damage to the ball joint. For this, you can use a hammer and punch, or if you have an air hammer, go ahead and use that. Now that I saw some movement in this area, we'll continue on. At this point, we'll continue on by carefully pulling down on the control arm, pulling the ball joint out of the knuckle. Once we've done that, we'll be swinging this away. Make sure you don't put a tug on the axle. To bring this down, we'll just use a hook, come right over the top of that control arm. Nice long pry bar down and under this area, and we'll hook it along the bottom of the control arm. At this point, we can pivot this and move it as needed. Let's pull this away. We'll carefully slide the axle away from this area. Now let's make our way over to the sway bar link. We're going to have to remove this from the lower control arm. As you can see, I applied a little bit of support underneath this control arm to remove pressure from the sway bar link. Now to remove this nut, we'll be using a 14mm wrench and a 5mm Allen head directly into the center of this stud. This will be easiest if you're using a ratcheting wrench. Now we'll transfer pressure over to this area here. Just start lifting up on that sway bar enough that you can pull this out through the control arm. Get the support out from under here. Now let's move back here. We have this cross member that goes underneath the control arm. We have to use a 17mm to remove both of the mounting bolts. Let's continue making our way rearward. You'll find that you have a 19mm nut right here. And then as you move back, you'll have 2 more 19mm bolts. Remove that bracket and set it aside. Now that we have that bracket out of the way, let's take the mounting nut and we'll just start that right onto the stud. Now we can continue following this to our last mounting point right across here. You'll find that you have a 17mm nut, and there's a bolt that comes through from the rear towards the front, which is also a 17mm. Carefully remove your control arm. Let's get this over to the bench. Now that we have this over to the bench, we need to pay attention to a couple things that involve the bushing itself before we remove it. Now what you'll find is that one side of the bushing protrudes out a little further than the other side. So when we go to install that bushing, we want to make sure we have it in the same exact direction. Looking at the new one side does protrude out further than the other. Now the last thing we also want to pay attention to is the exact positioning of the bushing. As you'll notice, there's slots on it. If you have this turned too much in one direction or the other, the suspension won't be able to pivot properly. Now we can start removing this. To do this, you could use a bushing remover, or of course a press of some sort. We're going to use an air chisel to remove it, and we'll use a press to install it. Before I go ahead and take this out of here, I'm just going to mark the control arm in a way that I know exactly which way the bushing will have to be in place when we go to install it. Let's use my air chisel for this. I'm making a mark exactly in the center of this hole. Now we'll continue on with the air chisel. We're going to start rocking this back and forth and driving it out. Once again, we're paying attention to the fact that one side protrudes out further than the other. Now we'll just clean and inspect the hole. Once we've done this, we'll make our way over to the press so we can press in our brand new bushing. Now over at the press, as we start putting this into position, once again, we're paying attention, making sure that we have the bushing in the exact correct position. We have the longer side that protrudes out through the center, facing towards what would be considered the top of the control arm. We also want to make sure that we have the slots of this in the proper direction, so as the suspension pivots up and down, it will be able to flex as needed. If you do it wrong, the suspension's not going to function properly. Now, as we press this into position, we need to have a cup along the bottom that fits directly up against the outer portion of the bushing, never the center. We don't want to cause any damage. At this point, while holding it here, we're going to use a cup up along the top. For this, we want to make sure it goes around the outer portion, but doesn't necessarily press in against the center. Once again, we don't want to damage that. At this point, we'll continue on to putting something along the top here. We can press this down. Let's apply some pressure, and as we watch this, we're making sure that we're going down as evenly as possible, and we want to make sure we're pretty much even with the control arm lip here. This isn't a race, we'll just be paying attention as we continue. Let's pause here and give this a quick inspection. Remove the cup from the bottom side there. We'll give it a loving bonk with a hammer. A quick inspection. It looks like we can go just a tiny bit further. We want to have this as even as possible on both sides. Let's get this back over to the car. All right, let's get ready to install this in the vehicle. Start putting this in position. Start on your rearward mounting nut. We want to make sure this cannot fall down and potentially hurt us while we continue. Now we'll move to our forward bolt. As for this, it comes through from the rear towards the front. We'll slide it right through and start on that mounting nut. Before you tighten either of these, let's make our way back to that ball joint. Before we can install the ball joint in here, we want to make sure that we take that axle and we'll slide it in the back side of the wheel bearing. Just have to work it around a little bit. It should slide right in. Pull down on the control arm and we'll line up that ball joint and slide that into position as well. Now, once you drive the ball joint in here, you want to make sure it's completely bottomed out against the knuckle. Now we can put in our pinch bolt. You'll find that I applied a little bit of blue thread locker to this. We'll slide it right on through there, start it in by hand, and snug it up. The torque for this is 37 foot-pounds. Let's reattach our sway bar link. We'll take this and swing it into position. Snug it up, torque it to 33 foot-pounds. The next thing we need to do is apply upward pressure on the control arm, so it's in the original ride height position, as if the vehicle was sitting on the ground. We're going to lift up on this control arm. Once we've done so, we can continue with the rest of our mounting hardware. Of course, this control arm is at an angle. You want to be extremely careful that whatever you're using does not slip out. Make our way back here. We can remove that mounting nut, install this bracket. We'll slide that right over the mounting stud here, start that on. Don't tighten it yet. We have those 2 bolts that also need to be installed. Let's continue on to torquing this forward mounting bolt to 81 foot-pounds. We'll make our way back here, torque this to 81 foot-pounds as well. And now these 2 bolts, 81. We can get this bracket on here as well. Remove the support from under your control arm. Now we can reinstall our axle nut. You'll find that I used a little bit of blue thread locker on the threaded area. Go ahead and start this on and snug it up by hand. Never use an air tool for this because you could cause some serious damage to your wheel bearing and you don't want to do that. The next thing we're going to do is torque the axle nut to 162 foot-pounds. As you can see, I use a pry bar coming across the lug studs, being extremely careful not to damage the threaded area. I'll bring this down diagonally all the way to the ground. Now we can torque this to 162, and once we've done so, we'll peen the nut into the slot of the axle. There we are. Now we can reinstall the wheel. We'll start on all 5 of our 19mm lug nuts. Bottom them out, get the wheel back on the ground, and we'll torque these to 100 foot-pounds. With the wheel safely on the ground, we'll torque these in a crisscross manner. Okay friend, we've got our vehicle back together. At this point, take it for a road test, listen for funny noises, and get yourself safely down to your local alignment shop. Thanks for watching.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.